Got him!
Now, I am doing a $50 giveaway for my subscribers. Just another way of me saying thank you so much for giving me a time for me to entertain you. At least believing in my dream. Just thank you so much. Now, a couple things. Number one, you have to be a subscriber. Number two, you have to answer 3 simple questions. Question number 1, who is your favorite comedian? And that could be anybody. Now, if you pick me, it doesn't mean you're going to win. A chance of winning better. It's just luck on this part. Question number 2, there's a misspelling on my second video. Now, a quick hint is big and red. All right, that's the best hint I can give you guys. Question number 3 is there's a quote on my second video. Now, if you haven't seen my second video, here's a chance to take a look at it. And do me a favor, be honest on the material that I have. If you don't like something, just be honest about it. It won't hurt me, okay? And that's about it. And guys, good luck on everything. Hey everybody, welcome to Stand Up and Do It podcast. I am your host, Ricky Rick. Our number 1 podcast, first time, 2023. Woo, we're finally here, guys. We're finally here. Now, a couple of things. Before we start anything, I'm going to tell you why I didn't start last year. Because I know I talked to a couple of you guys and I was going to do this podcast last year. Now, the reason why I didn't do this last year, some people might know this and some people might not know this, but let me educate the people who don't know this, or let me re-educate the people that know this, right? Now, there's going to be somebody in your life, no matter what height or what success you put in your life, is always going to put you down. You can have 9 things right in your life, that one thing wrong, he's going to always or she's going to always call that out. Now that person's going to be by your side no matter what. You can't shake this person ever. Okay? Your number 1 critic. And that person is yourself. And that's what happened to me, guys. And I'm going to show you a couple takes because it took me like 1,000 takes, right? Mm-hmm. Or maybe 1,001 takes for me. It's just me saying, hi, everybody. This is Stand Up and Do It podcast. How we doing? Hello, how you doing, everybody? Hey, everybody. Well, how we do it. Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm sorry. Hey, everybody. What else? Fuck you, bitch. Delete it all.
No,
delete it all.
that.
I need to delete it. Delete
Delete
it. Now, a couple things. On the channel itself, you're going to see me as a comedian. I can't call myself a comedian yet. I call myself a trainee, right? Mm-hmm. A comedian in training. Because soon as I started getting paid, then I'll call myself a comedian because I'm at least doing something good that making a lot of people laugh and they're interested in me. So for right now, I'm training, learning how to write jokes, learning how to not be afraid of people when I'm on stage. And that's what that's what you're going to see on my page. But not only me, I also want to showcase other people's talents. So if you are a singer, a writer, or a painter, I don't care what you do in your life. I want to see it and I want to showcase it to everybody. That's on the channel. Then we also have a podcast because I don't want to give you all my materials online. And then if you're ever going to come see me, you're not going to like it at all. Okay? Now, on the podcast, we talk about a couple of things on the podcast. We're going to talk about supernatural things. I like supernatural things because when I was younger, I'm not saying I have supernatural strength or anything like that. It was kind of weird to me. I want to know if anybody have ever felt this or experienced the same thing I experienced. I don't know if it's supernatural, but let me tell you. Now, when I was younger, like I was going to say around 15, 16, teens. Let me make it easier. When I was a teen, I remember I used to experience these deja vus, but not just a regular deja vu. Like a deja vu is when you see something, you're like, yeah, I remember seeing this and something happening, and it's already happening to you, and you can remember, like, yeah, that's weird. I can remember this happening. That's a deja vu. Well, I kind of got that, but I beat it. I was ahead of it. I was ahead of my deja vu by 2 or 3 seconds. Not minutes, seconds, guys. It's kind of weird. Let me explain it to you. The ones I remember the most are 2 of them. The first one is I remember walking to my house after school, and when I was heading home, I felt like, that deja vu feeling. I was like, oh, this feels so familiar. But for 3 seconds, I told you, 3 seconds, I thought about, like, I know it's going to be a blue car coming down. It's going to stop at the stop sign. And then a red car is already at the stop sign. It's going to cross over, and then a butterfly's coming. As soon as I said the butterfly's going to be on my head, boom, action. It started. It started going. I see the red car coming down. The blue car coming down. The red car's parked in there. At the stop sign, and everything that I thought about is happening at this. I was like, what the hell? And I already thought about this before it happened. That's the craziest part. Like I said, when I was a kid, I was like, whatever. I didn't pay no mind to it until it happened a couple times. But again, and this time, I was ahead of it and said it loud. This was a meeting. It was a small meeting. I forgot what the hell the meeting was about. And there was two girls talking, and I remember one girl. I'll pretend her name is Sarah. Girl said Sarah was the car is blue color. We're gonna say that the car was blue, and then Nicole said no, the color was not blue. It was red. We're just gonna say that. So again, I felt that deja vu happen all over again. I was like, what the hell? And then in my head, I was like, she's gonna say the car is red, and then she's gonna say the car is blue. And then boom, once I said the last thing, the car is blue, boom, she started saying, hey, I think the car is red. And as soon as I looked at the other girl, I said it with her, no, the car is blue. And people look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, and it was like, oh, what happened? Oh, and he was like, oh, Jinx. Like, no, it wasn't Jinx. I already knew what was happening for like 3 seconds. I was 3 seconds ahead. Now, if anybody experienced that, let me know. I don't know am I crazy, or is there something wrong with me, and do I have to take any pills, right? Anything, let me know. And if you're a doctor and you know what's happening to me, please let me know. The second thing that we're going to talk about here, we're going to talk about UFOs. Now, I'm talking about UFOs. Now, I'm not talking about spaceship and alien or anything like that. I'm doing exactly what the UFO stand for, which is what was the UFO stand for?
Unidentified flying object.
Correct. Unidentified flying object. That definition itself is what I saw. Now, again, this was later in my, I would say I was probably 19 or 20. I'm not around that time. And I was with my brother-in-law. Again, thank God I had a witness, because then a lot of people said, now you're crazy. Or you're high, you're drunk or something. But to be honest with you, it was early in the morning and we were heading to his house. We were sober. Now, this happened, just in case, I believe it's Hale Avenue in White Plains. So if you're from White Plains, it happened in Hale Avenue on top of the hill next to Carhart. Right there, Carhart and Hale Avenue. Right where it crosses, that's where we saw it, up in the sky. Now think about this. We saw a bright dot. Now in a normal night, a bright dot could be a North Star, it could be a star, it doesn't matter. But in a day, what's brighter than the sun? I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. If you let me know, that'd be great. But at that time, nothing was brighter than the sun, and that was. Do you guys remember the way the North Star pierces through the night, and like so bright it pierces through the night? That's the same way that bright light was piercing through the day. That's why me and my brother-in-law was kind of skeptical. Like, what the hell is that? So we both point up in the skies, like, what is that? And we didn't pay no mind. We didn't pay any attention to it until we saw that dot move to the right and stop, and then zigzag this way, stopped 2 more times, and boom, flew away. And then next thing is me and my brother looked at each other like, what the hell just happened? What was that? Now, we did a couple of research. We looked it up. Now, at my time, the only research you have to do, you do have to go to the library. You have to go through the little books. And I believe was the internet up and running in 2000? It probably was running, but it wasn't running the way we have it right now. As cool as, like, you say, hey, Siri, tell me this, and Siri will tell you. Now, I believe at the time there wasn't any planes that can go as fast as that. Oh, stop and then go fast and stop. Or even make those right angles. Because I believe if you're doing, I believe at that time the fastest plane can do, 3,400 miles per hour? Even if you do it, think about it. Even if you're on a car, you're doing 50 miles an hour. How the hell can you make a left real quick at 50 miles an hour? It's impossible. Now think about doing a plane, just stopping in midair and making a quick left. Impossible. well, not impossible because we've seen it, but yes, for our technology, it's impossible. Because I believe the G-force will kill somebody, right? Okay, maybe not. I don't. We don't know. Well, we'll figure that out. So this is why we're gonna talk about UFO because I seen one, so I guess I believe one. I'm gonna believe you guys. If you tell me a story, even better, because I like those stories. And my favorite thing of my whole life that my mom used to do is we're gonna talk about scary stories. Now, these scary stories that I'm gonna tell you is basically the scary stories that my mom and ancestors told each other that happened in their country. And to be honest with you, it traumatized me as I was a kid, but I loved it. My mom used to say, I'm not telling you any more scary stories because I couldn't sleep at night. I was like, don't leave the lights on and everything. And she's like, no more scary stories. I was like, no, please, give me another one. It got to a point. My mom was so good at telling scary stories that my boys will come to my house and we all gather around and listen to all her stories. And they were even scared to go home. We had to figure out a way to take him home, or their parents had to pick him up. They didn't want to walk home no more. And let me tell you one. Now, in her country, again, this is what they say, okay? Now, she's also said everything changed because when she was younger, and before we started, I'm Venezuelan, and where she lived, we're fishermen. So we're not from Caracas, the city, or anything like that. We're fishermen, so we're actually more rural. Technically, we're like 8 hours away from Caracas. We're from Estado Sucres, Marihuital. That's what, I guess I was born there. Just in case I was raised in the U.S., that's why I don't know Venezuela that much. But she said in the old times, there was less lights, less people living there. And I believe when you have less lights and less people, you see more of things out because there's the way she explained to me is there's not a lot of people walking around or city life that pushes the ghost out. Another way for me to explain it to you like that. That's the way I interpret it. She said a different way, but again, I don't know how she said it, but she said something like that. Right now, it's less. But at her time, listen to this, okay? At her time, they say when a child is born and dies, a still baby or in the stomach or anything, a premature kid, in my country, they say if a child is born still or dead, no matter what, you have to baptize them. Now, there's kids that don't get baptized; they get thrown away or anything like that. Now, those spirits feel still. They say they still roam around at nighttime, so they come out at night, looking for humans or anybody, or tries to cry out, because every night they come out late at night, and let me start again. All you hear is crying late at night, like a baby. Wah, wah. Wah. And they say it comes out late at night when you hear crying. Do not open the windows. Do not accept. Don't even look at them. They said just let it go. Let the person or that thing cry. Well, my mother heard this and she said she couldn't. She thought it was a little kid or somebody needs help itself. So she opened up her window and said, "Hey, do you need help? And do you need help?" And she sees. She said she saw like a 4-foot person, a human, look half human, but the strangest thing is her lower body, or the person's lower body, was backwards. So right there, scary. It's late at night, body's backwards, feet the upside down, and the little kid's crying. And they said she's seen that. And once she seen that, the little kid saw that, and she got scared. She closed the window and then told her grandmother, and then she slept with her grandmother. But it was already too late, according to my mom. Now, ever since she did that, every night the kid will come to the house crying every night by her window. Wah, 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 every night. And my mom was going crazy. She couldn't deal with it no more. And she told she told my grandmother, it's like, what, like, I looked at this kid and I started yelling at him, "Hey, do you need help?" And then it came, and then every night it's crying, and my great grandmother, my grandmother is saying you shouldn't have done that. That's the number one rule we tell you not. You have to be careful with these things. So then she called the priest. I believe that the village priest or whatever, wherever in town, who knows how to handle these things. I know for us from the U.S., we don't have a person that we call to handle these things. But in our town or our village, whatever you want to call it, we do have these witch doctors or healers. What do you want to call these guys?
Exorcist?
Exorcist, or whatever it is, right? All right. So now this is the part that gets even crazier. Now they say the only way you can get rid of this person or this entity or whatever you want to call it, spirits, is you have to trap him in a white sheet. And no bullshit, okay? This is well, I don't even know if it is a bullshit or not. This is the way my mom used to entertain me or scare me or keep me in line. Now you're supposed to capture him, and then you have to read a certain part of a Bible. I forgot what part she said, but you have to read it backwards. That's the craziest thing. And then once you do that, I heard the spirit calms down. You bring that sheet to a graveyard and bury it, and you baptize the kid and you bury it the right way, and that's it. But again, think about it. Think about one day you're outside, you look outside, and you see a little kid crying, and then half of their body is facing the opposite way. And then every day after you say, "Hey, can I help you?" And then every day he's coming to your house crying, "Wah, wah, wah." Can you deal with that? Shit, because I sure can't deal with that. Um, Again, we're also going to talk about history here too. I love history. Any kind of history is the best history for me because there's no such thing as bad history. I think it's bad and good history. We still need to know about it because we don't want to repeat history, especially bad stuff. So we want to know what's going on. So this is thanks to Indiana Jones and the Temple of doing all this crazy shit. I love history. I like ancient Sumeria. I like all ancient stuff. I like finding temples. I like pyramids. I love all that stuff. So if you guys have any stories to tell me, please comment down below, or I have my email down below. Please send me anything that you want to talk about, any scary stories, Bigfoot sightings, anything you can imagine. Please hit me up. I would love to hear it. All right, guys, take care for the next time, man.